So one summer, my parents, who they actually are here tonight, told my brother and I, he was about 13 and I was about 10, we're going to California. Cool. We're not going to fly. We didn't take the train or a donkey or, the Pony Express. No, we drove from Wilson, Connecticut to Sonoma, California in the family truckster, which is a maroon faux wood-paneled station wagon that had air conditioning. However, if you turned on the air conditioning, the car would overheat. We took this 4-week vacation in August on the southern route. So we sort of hit Tennessee, Missouri, Texas, Arizona, Death Valley. Nice and cool at that time of the year. So my mom and dad, this was their grand idea, meaning this was my mom's idea, my dad went along. I love you. And my mom has always had that sort of teachable moment type of parenting, which is phenomenal. And so if you stayed home from school sick, you didn't get to watch cartoons for 6 hours. She felt that that wasn't educational. We had to watch game shows instead. I learned the value of $1 from Bob Barker. So she felt that this is a great teachable moment. My brother and I were going to plan the trip with them. Cool. So she put up a big map of the United States, and we all got these little push pins that were colored. I got red, my brother got blue, and we got to tag where we wanted to go, and then sort of majority would win. So we all knew family and friends in Virginia, so we all tagged Virginia. My brother and I were born in Fort Worth, Texas, and adopted there, so of course we all tagged Fort Worth, Texas. After that, Dave and I somehow figured out where all the theme park and water parks were. This was before the internet, and so we, of course, tagged all those places. My parents, through AAA, found out where all the national and historical sites were. All of them. And they, of course, tagged all those. Somehow, it sort of depends on who you ask. If you ask Dave and I, who's my brother, we went to every single national and historical park from here to California. The Grand Canyon, folks, is not so grand. It's a big hole. That's sort of basically it. Now, if you ask Mom and Dad, we went to every single theme and water park from here to California. We rode every roller coaster, we went in every wave pool, we had lots of corn dogs and funnel cakes. Somewhere in the middle is about 50-50, the reality. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, what do you do with 2 kids in the car who, you're not going to hit a theme park every single day from 2,000 miles. How do you entertain them? Teachable moment. My mom got a whole bunch of books on tape. This was before iPads, iPods, iPhones, whatever. We had our Walkman, and that's about it, and a lot of batteries. So we didn't want to listen to New Kids on the Block or Guns N' Roses for 2,000 miles. So my mom had a whole bunch of books on tape from the local library. The first book on tape that I remember was Little House on the Prairie. I was in 5th grade. I was a girl. I thought it was great. This is fantastic. The first 2 lines had the words Ma and Pa in there. And my brother, who was going into 8th grade and I was going to 5th grade, if we ever made this trip, and we got back in September, he sort of went, okay, throw that in the reject pile. The second book on tape Mom put in, I don't remember the title, but it was about a donkey in the Grand Canyon. Teachable moments. Okay, we're going to the Grand Canyon. We're going to learn about how a donkey lives in the Grand Canyon. I think we made it through the first 3 chapters of this book because Dave and I got to say the word ass all the time whenever the book was on. After that, it went into the reject pile too. Now, we found another tape that was fantastic. We picked this tape up in Dollywood. Anybody know Dollywood? Dolly Parton made her own theme park in the Ozarks. It's fantastic. I don't really remember it. But I do remember that we went to my first concert. It wasn't a rock concert. It was a country concert. We bought a tape at the end of the show. I don't know the gentleman's name. But this tape had country music, jokes about Elmer Fudd and Saturday morning cartoons, sugar cereals that you ate while you watched the Saturday morning cartoons. It was ridiculous. However, we chose to listen to this tape for 2,000 miles, basically every single day. It won over Ma Pa in the ass. So I think if we went back on now and we listened to this tape, which I really wish I could find, we would go, what? How do we find that funny? And if I put it in for anybody else, they'd go, oh my gosh, you guys are insane. But this tape entertained the four of us. Now, Dave was 13-year-old boy, a 10-year-old girl, my parents, for 2,000 miles. And we had great inside jokes about it. It was one of those family bonding moments. We loved it. It was ridiculous. Really, if we listened to it, we'd be like, really? We found that humorous? Okay. So, now we did find another form of entertainment. Besides the license plate game, we saw all of them because I think we hit every single state. We played the I Spy game. Yep, there's the seatbelt. It's silver. I found it. It's a car. There's only so many things you can see. Arizona has so many things you can see. There's yellow. It's the yellow line in the road. Cool. Got it. I win. Our final game, what happens in the car stays in the car, was the belching contest. Now, it wasn't just about how loud you could belch. You got rated on a scale of 1 to 10, and it was depth, loudness, length was taken part into it. If you could talk, Dave, by the end of the trip, could figure out how to get some part of the alphabet going as he burped. And juiciness, of course. Now, my mom, she won the award, and she won 10. Pretty big. She won this by having a bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's with a Sprite, because we were also really healthy on this trip. Side note, you can't do this in restaurants or at the dinner table, especially not when you're out with your grandparents and they take you to the Philadelphia Cricket Club. You're not supposed to rate those burps. We found that out the hard way. Even to this day, my brother and I look at each other when one of us lets one out by accident, and we sort of like, ooh, what score do you want to give each other? That all goes back to this trip. My mother's mortified in the back. Sorry, Mom. Now, another teachable moment my mom was that, well, not teachable moment, but that, it's 4 weeks. My dad somehow got 4 weeks off on this vacation. I don't know how. I think his boss thought he was never coming back. And I also think that he somehow had a secret compartment where he kept his maker's mark somewhere in the car. That's the only way we survived. They thought, we're going to camp the whole way. Cool. You're going to take the four of us in a car, and then you're going to camp in a tent, and my mom's going to teach over an open flame? Really? No. So after about the second night of camping, that got thrown out, and my parents decided that we were going to stay in a hotel. Or a motel, or a Holiday Inn, one of those, I don't know. So there was 3 deciding factors. One, it had to have a washer and dryer. You're on the road for 4 weeks. There's no air conditioning in the car. We had to go through clothes. Poor Mom, we never go on vacation. She never went on vacation. The second was air conditioning. And the third was a pool. Now, my dad, this was his big time to spend with all of us. And after a long day of riding in the car with us and navigating with my mom, and my mom telling him how to drive the car, and telling my brother not to strangle me with the Walkman wires and me not to push him out of the car, he just probably wanted to sit down and read his book, not Ma Pa in the ass, but a real book, and have his maker's mark that he kept hidden somewhere. But he would go swimming with me for an hour at least every single night. We had to have a pool every hotel, and so he would spend at least an hour, just the two of us goofing off while Mom did the laundry, I have no idea what my brother did, and us having a grand old time in the pool. It was fantastic. I still hold that dear as a memory to me. You know, you don't get that many memories with your dads, especially when they work in the city, so that was pretty cool. He probably just wanted to get on a plane and fly home, leave us in Death Valley. But we did eventually get to Sonoma, California, and we didn't kill each other. But my husband and I are taking our 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 8, and then my other daughter's 4.5, and our son is 6 weeks. We're going to California in 2 weeks. We're gonna fly.